Hello, and welcome to
Papi Approves Movies.
My name is Papi.
And I'm Natalie.
In our podcast, we will review and critique my favorite PG-13 movies.
Movies that I wasn't allowed to watch until I turned 13.
Every Sunday, Natalie and I will watch a new PG-13 movie.
And I'll see if Papi's movies live up to the hype.
Which, of course, they will.
Today we're going to be watching The Fifth Element.
Before we begin, there will be spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie and don't want it to be spoiled,
press pause and come back when you're finished. Now, Papi, tell me the deets on this movie.
The Fifth Element came out in 1997. It was directed by Luc Besson and written by Luc Besson and Robert Mark Kamen. Luc Besson is one of my favorite movie makers. Other than this one of my favorite movies, he also made was Léon, the Professional. A fantastic movie, but it's rated R. We'll have to wait to watch it. The main stars in this movie are Bruce Willis, Milla Jovovich, and Gary Oldman. So what do you think, Nat?
Well, it was alright. It was kind of boring.
Boring? What? Full-on action?
I don't know how long the movie is, but whatever amount of time that was, I wish I could get it back.
Oh my gosh, how many stars did you give it?
A 2.5 stars.
2.5 stars. Oh, Natalie, you're killing me. It's such a great movie. You didn't think it was funny?
It was so boring.
You didn't think it was action-packed?
Not really.
There was so much action, so much spaceship. You saw the spaceship, chase scene?
It was boring.
And then all the killing and the hostage situation?
Nope.
I'm a little bit defeated by this. This is actually one of my favorite movies, and actually your Uncle Tio Isel's one of his favorite movies, too.
That's where we got the... Was it a CD or a DVD?
It was a DVD, so we borrowed the DVD from your uncle just to watch it.
Why don't we get into the recap?
Before I recap the movie, I want to talk about the way the movie is made. It's a great movie, even though Natalie disagrees, that jumps back and forth in time all the time. Sometimes there'll be a scene going on, and then something else is going on at the same time at a different place. One character can answer the question of another character from a different place. It's a little bit tough. I love it in the movie, but it makes it hard to recap. So I'm going to do my best, and some things are going to get out of order, so that way we can make it efficient. Let's begin. The movie begins in Egypt, 1914, in a ruin, and an archaeologist reads hieroglyphics that say an ultimate evil comes every 5,000 years.
Also, before this, the credits to opening the movie are so long. Is that what the olden people do? Or why are the credits always so long?
I don't know.
In the beginning.
What is it, 1997? So you're looking at 25 years? Not that long ago.
It was a long intro. I'm sorry I cut you off, though. What were you saying?
Well, let me go back to it. So, the archaeologist was reading the hieroglyphics and talked about ultimate evil, and that the only thing that could save them is the four elements, fire, wind, earth, and water, surrounded by a fifth element, and which will release the divine light and defeat the evil. Then, an alien race, the Mandashawan, come and take the the 5 elements away, because there will be a war soon in the region. They instruct the priest inside the ruin to prepare for their return, and he gets a key to hold on to. You know what war it's going to be in 1914?
I'm not the best at history.
1914, World War I. So World War I kind of took over the whole world, and so I think the aliens were afraid that there were going to be problems. So they took away everything.
That's a good thing.
All right, we open up 300 years later, and the evil, shaped like a large dark mass, is coming and threatening a warship, eventually destroying that warship. The president of the Federation is perplexed, and then we meet Vito Cornelius, a follower of the religion based on the 5 elements, introduced in the beginning of the movie. He says nothing can stop the evil except for the 5 elements, and they're on a spaceship on the way. Unfortunately, the spaceship is destroyed by a warring alien race, the Mangalores.
I'm always confused between the Mangalores and the other aliens that showed up earlier.
Well, one looked like robots, and the other ones were like monster-looking things.
I know the difference between but the name, I don't correspond the name with what they are.
I know, it's true. They barely said, the Mangalores, their name came out a lot, but the Mandashawan, I didn't see it very often. Next, we meet the 2 important characters. Our hero, Corbin Dallas, played by Bruce Willis. He's a retired spaceship pilot, military boss, who now drives a taxi. He's mugged at the beginning of the movie, and then he goes out to work. And then we meet our villain, Zorg. He's the one responsible for the destruction of the Mandashoan ship. He is paying the Mangalores for the stones that correspond with the 4 elements that were on the ship. The Mangalores did get them in a case, so they brought them to Zorg. All right. Upon checking the wreckage, a survivor is found. Through medical technology, the body is reconstructed. The scientist talks about how complex the organism is, calling it perfect, like many times. Like he kept saying it many times.
When they were making her, I didn't think the CGI was very good. It looked kind of bad.
It's kind of bad. Kind of old, dated?
Yeah, I think they would have done better with that now.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, for sure. Once complete, we meet the 5th element, which, to their surprise of the scientists and the military, is a naked woman. She feels threatened and forces her way out and escapes. With her back against the wall, she jumps off the building and crash lands onto Corbin Dallas's cab.
Her hair looks so weird. Why is it like orange? It's weird and gross.
KD, Corbin Dallas, falls in love with the 5th element at first sight. He just thinks she's so beautiful and wonderful. And Milla Jovovich, she was a model for a long time, so that actress was a model. Now she's been in a bunch of movies, but at that time she had only been in a few movies, and most of her work was modeling.
Is this where she got popular off of, or was it more of modeling situation?
So she eventually becomes one of the main characters of the Resident Evil movies, which is a video game franchise, like scary movies. And I think she's been in like 20 of those. I don't know. But I think that's where she became more popular. But this is one of her, the big debut. So he falls in love with her. But then the police come and asked for her to be turned over. And at first he complies. He's like, okay, you have to go. But then when she begs him, he says, screw it, and takes off. Then we have a deadly flying car chase. And Corbin Dallas escapes with all his skills.
He's so dumb for this because it, like, in the beginning of the movie, it made, like, a point where he was running out of points on his license. And then, like, he was already down to, like, 5 after she crashed into her car. Why would you smuggle some random, he doesn't know if she's a criminal or something, in your car on a car chase when you're about to get your license revoked?
Love. It's all about love. That was the easy answer.
Yeah, but he barely met this girl. What if she's a psychopath murderer?
Yeah, you make a good point. She could be a psychopath murderer, but she's beautiful and he's in love. What do you expect? Okay. Maybe you're right. Before she passes out, the 5th element asks to see Cornelius, and Corbin takes her. Cornelius is honored to see her, and he also passes out. We learn her name is Lilu. Corbin tries to kiss Lilu when she is passed out, and she grabs his gun and puts it to his head angrily. Corbin leaves, and Lilu tells Cornelius that the stones were not on the Mandashoan spaceship. Lilu was that the spaceship Lilu was on. A famous singer, Diva Plava Laguna, has the stones on a cruise ship called Flossin's Paradise.
I wonder how, like, she seems like she's just a singer. It's so random. Why does she have the stone?
I don't know. She's a famous singer. That scene I love because, so she passes out, and then Cornelius passes out, and then Corbin Dallas wakes up Cornelius with it like a hard slap. Just slaps him awake.
Yeah.
And he's like, wake up! And then when he tries to wake up Lilu, the 5th element, he kisses her, and she doesn't like it and puts a gun to his head, screaming at him, telling him, not without my permission, in her language.
That was funny.
That was funny. Next, we see Zorg 2 more times. Once when he kills the Mangalores when he finds out that they do not have the stones, because now we know that Diva Flava Laguna has them at Floss in Paradise. And then again when he meets Cornelius and asks about the stone. That's a funny meeting because Zorg almost chokes on a cherry pit. Cornelius saves his life, and Zorg spares his. So
I was concerned for the guy a little bit because he was just waiting, watching him choke on the cherry, and then I was like, he's gonna die if you want to do anything. Like, I thought he was gonna drag it out so long, but I thought that he would accidentally drag it out too long and he'd just die.
Oh, like he was like he was going to save him the whole time, but then he waited too long and he ends up dying anyways.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. Because he was, like, really dying.
Your
or,
sister,
like, choking.
Your sister was a little harsh. She's like, don't save him. Kill the bad guy and all the things would be better. Which maybe, I guess it would, then the movie would be over. The end. Thank you very much for coming.
Oh, no.
Then we see 4 groups all trying to go to Flossum's Paradise to get the stones. The president, he finds out that the stones are the only way he can stop the evil, and he enlists Dallas to get them. Dallas doesn't want to go, but when he finds out it involves Lilu, he agrees. The president rigs a contest where Corbin Dallas wins free tickets, and everyone hears about this, even Corbin Dallas's mom.
I know, she was so angry at him.
Because she wanted to go with him.
Yeah, she's like, I birthed you from myself.
Yeah, because he won 2 tickets. He didn't win. They rigged the contest, but everybody heard that he won 2 tickets. The second person trying to get there is Zorg. He sends his man to capture Corbin Dallas so they can take his ticket and go to Flossum's Paradise. They get the wrong guy. That doesn't work. The third group that wants to go is Lilu and Cornelius. They hear about the tickets and they go to Corbin Dallas's house, knock him out, and take the tickets away from him.
Rude much.
I know. And then the fourth group trying to get there are the Mangalores. They're angry about Zorg's betrayal, and they want revenge. So everybody's on their way.
The Mangalores are not the robot ones, right?
No, the Mangalores are the evil monster-looking ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, at the airport, we see David, which is a follower of Cornelius, acts like Corbin Dallas with Lilu to get on the ship, but Corbin comes just in time, kicks him out, and he gets on the ship with Lilu.
He's like shaking. That would be me. I would not be able to keep it cool if I was trying to identity theft.
He's a little wimpy guy. He's not a fighter. He's, like a priest in a way. And then Corbin Dallas is a military buff guy. And
yeah, that's what I would be like. I would be like, I am Corbin Dallas.
Plus, how long did they knocked him out? But they didn't kill him. He was going to come back out.
Also, they used the same ID and he looked so different. Like he would have gotten caught, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like he was going to get through, and it didn't work out. Then the Mangalores come, and Zorg's man come, and they try to pass as Corbin Dallas as well. They try to get on, but they're denied because by that time Corbin Dallas and Lily were already on the ship. Then there's a big firefight, and Cornelius sneaks onto the ship through the landing gear. He sneaks on. He can't stop himself. He has to save the world. All right, we get on the spaceship, and we meet Ruby Rhod. What do you think of him?
He's a weirdo.
He's a weirdo. So the Ruby Rhod character is played by Chris Tucker. He's like a famous comedian. He was in a movie called Friday. Probably one of his funniest movies. Very popular with a rapper named Ice Cube. And that's where the Bye Felicia, that saying? Uh-huh. That's where that came from that movie Friday with Chris Tucker. It wasn't him that said it, but he's in that movie. Very popular, very good, great, funny movie. And then he started doing a bunch of roles.
Oh.
He also did another movie, and I think we're going to watch one of these. It's on the list, is Rush Hour. And Chris Tucker is a character with Jackie Chan, who's like a karate guy. You're going to watch that one, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say about that one.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny, but maybe it's aged not as well as
poorly.
We would think so. Yeah. Anyways, he's a host of his radio show, Ruby Rhod is, and he meets Corbin Dallas. Corbin Dallas hates him instantly, even chokes him out, picks him up by his neck, but has to put up with him because Ruby's a sponsor of the contest that Corbin won. That night is opera night. Corbin Dallas is in a tux, goes to the show. Lilu sees that the diva's entourage is attacked by the Mangalores, and she kicks her butt hard as the diva is singing a really cool, beautiful opera song.
Mm-hmm.
We find out that the evil ball, also called Mr. Shadow, is in cahoots with Zorg. And Zorg leaves and flies to Flossum's Paradise to get the stones himself when no one else is doing it for him. All his henchmen have failed him. He shows up and shoots up Lilu and leaves a bomb on the ship for 20 minutes. Takes a case of stones, and then the Mangalores take over the ship. So
I don't know why they haven't been looking at their case beforehand.
That's right. That's the second time that's happened. So the Mangalores originally...
would it take that much time to like crack it open and be like, oh, okay, there's like 5 stones in there, let's go. No, I'm just gonna grab this random case. Who knows if it's some like, maybe some guy wanted to go to the bathroom and left his suitcase out, or with like a bunch of clothes. I don't know, but would it take you that much time to look at it very quickly so that there isn't a huge mistake?
You're right. So the first started with the Mangalores, when they took the case off of the Mandashawan ship that Lily was on in the beginning. But I don't blame them for not looking, because they're just doing deliveries, right?
Yeah.
And then, but Zorg has been wanting these stones.
And not only that, but it's already the second time. You already failed the first time. You already failed one time. Wouldn't you think that you would look?
Yeah, he would. And he didn't. He took off and he left Flossen's Paradise, went on a spaceship, went into like cruise control far away, then opened the box, found out that they weren't there. Which is when we find out that Flava Laguna has them. We'll get to that in a second. Corbin helps Diva. Oh, I'm sorry. The Mangalos take over the ship. That's where I left off. And they kill Diva. They shoot her in the stomach. Corbin Dallas helps Diva off the stage and finds out that the stones are within her.
I don't know how this happened. Did she eat them or something?
That's a great point. I don't know.
Like, no one, they never touch on, like, how they're inside her.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how her body is. Maybe half that body is, like, not real. Be like a container in the middle. Because, you know, they're all aliens. They have different biology than us.
But still, I always imagine her eating them.
Well, you can't. They're gigantic, big old, like, brick-sized stones. Yeah, but you're right. Like,
you just said they're aliens. They can do whatever they want.
That's true. And I don't know how, my question isn't so much how she put them in her. How was she going to give those stones to Lilu without dying?
She probably planned on dying.
Well, no, I mean, I hope not, right? I don't think it was a suicide mission, but it ended up being a suicide mission. He takes them out of her body, her physical body, gives them to Ruby Rhod to take care of, which to me was hilarious because you're like, you're going to trust that guy with them? Yeah.
The guy that's been high-pitched screaming this whole time.
I know. Then they go on an action-packed killing rampage with Ruby in tow while they're broadcasting the show. The show's actually still in being broadcasted. Corbin regains control of the ship by ending the hostage situation with lots and lots and lots of murder. He just killed a lot of people. Murder. Cornelius joins him now, who was in the control room because he was arrested as a stowaway. And Cornelius calls David to go to Egypt and prepare the ruin for the 5 elements. So now they have the 4 elements. They're going to go get Lilu, and then they're going to fly to Egypt and save the world. But there's still more problems. In the next scene, the bomb is detected and everyone on the ship is evacuated. Corbin gets Lilu when she's all shot up, very upset and hurt. And with Ruby and Cornelius, the 4 of them, they go off to Egypt. Zorg comes back when he realizes the case is empty, which he should have realized earlier, and stops the bomb.
He should have looked at it. Why is he being so dumb? That makes me angry. Like, what's even the point? And it's not even unrealistic, because some moron would do that in real life.
Yeah, they would. They'd be like, I got it, and then they walk out, and then it's empty. I agree. But he's like an evil mastermind, right? Like, he's like the president of, like, he's like the CEO of huge corporations at the time, so.
Yeah, he had all that stuff, all the technology in his room, and he didn't open the briefcase?
I know, that's true. Yeah. Once he's there, he stops the bomb, but a surviving Mangalore sets a bomb of his own, and Flossen Paradise explodes with Zorg aboard. So, goodbye, Zorg.
Bye-bye, Zorg.
On the way to Egypt, they hear that the evil is increasing at a crazy rate, and they only have 2 hours before it destroys Earth. On the spaceship, Lilu is studying mankind's history and sees all the atrocity it has made with war.
As I watched this, I compared it to The Giver, it's a book, but then it got turned to movie adaptation. Mm-hmm. And the kid is, receiving memories from this old dude. And he, gets a memory of war, and he's just, depressed afterwards. So I thought of that when Lilu typed in war to her computer thingy. I thought that was, kind of similar, how they were all, depressed, both of them, and they're like, what is even life anymore?
Yes.
This is so horrible. Why would people do this?
It's true. It's true. We get to Egypt, and it takes a cast of heroes a while to figure out how to activate the stones. They finally do, and Lilu stands in the middle, but she's doubting whether she should save mankind. Once again, the whole war situation, being shot up by Zorg, all these terrible things that are happening. And she has her doubts whether she should actually save Earth and mankind. At that point, Corbin Dallas tells her that love is worth saving, and he professes his love to her.
Oh my God, they met for like 5 minutes. Yay!
No, they love each other, Natalie.
No,
Sorry.
they met for 5 minutes.
They love each other,
She
Natalie.
could still be a sociopath.
They love each other.
Well,
Yeah, they love each other. They kiss, and she does her thing, causing a huge light and stopping the evil ball in its tracks.
no gun to the head for the kiss this time.
No, I think he got permission this time. I think he got consent this time. The world is saved, and at the end, we see the two of them making out. Inappropriate.
Disgusting.
The end. I love this movie.
Ew.
Love wins, conquers evil. The hero is awesome.
It's not
Lilu's-
love. They didn't know each other.
Lilu is awesome, and Chris Tucker is hilarious. as
She has
Ruby
weird
Rhod.
hair.
That's my favorite color, orange. So I like her hair.
It's so fake looking.
After this, because Ruby Rhod would say, "Are you green?" Green means like, "Are we good or everything okay?" So maybe we should start saying that. How's the podcast? Green, super green. Should we? No.
I'm not gonna get that reference.
I think you should because we just watched the movie. So
I
you should
try to
get that
block it out of my memory.
No, I think you understand it. All right, Nat, could this movie still be made today? And then I'm going to ask you another question to see if you remember we talked about it earlier. So what do you think? Could this movie still be made today?
Well, I think the action part of it would be, but I feel like Ruby Rhod did something very, very bad that would most definitely not be in the movie. And it was this, I don't know if you remember this, but it was like a flight attendant lady. And she was
Yes,
all
I
like,
remember this.
She was all like, pick a position. And he's like, no, I want all of them. And she's like, stop it. And she's like crying and she's out of breath. And he's like, no, I'll do whatever I want. And that was just so awful. And that would definitely not, he's obviously forcing himself onto her. She's like, no, leave me alone. And he's like, no, I'm gonna do whatever I want. And that was just so horribly outdated. That would definitely not be in there today.
Okay. Let me see what I think about that. I think actually it was consensual, but I think she just wanted to be left alone because she was doing an announcement at the time.
No, because she actually did say something where she said, anywhere but there, and then he, does something, and she screams.
Okay. All right, I can see that. I remember that part. I thought it was highly inappropriate for a PG-13 movie, because it was inappropriate.
It's
and that's why
inappropriate for the
rating,
rating, and it's also inappropriate in general. Why is he doing that to her? She's obviously angry. She screamed, or she's uncomfortable, more like it, because she literally screamed and is upset, and he doesn't care, and that's not good.
I agree. When it came to Ruby Rhod, because he was funny, the screaming was funny, he's kind of ridiculous, but I wanted to hear what you thought more about him as a character now, and 25 years after the movie came out.
I think him as a character would be the same, except for that part. I think that it seems out of character, because he was just this guy who's along for the ride. Why would he force himself? That wasn't really a part of anything. He wasn't doing his show, which he's seemed really happy about in that moment. That's that was really out of character, I feel like. But the character itself, I think he would have been perfectly fine on now.
Okay. Any other things that you would find that wouldn't be made today or something like that?
Yeah, just two more, I think. When Lily was being made, the doctor's let's take pictures of this naked woman, for the records, nudge, nudge. But, she's sleeping, and she's naked, and she's new to the world. what are you doing? That's disgusting. And also the kissing with while she was kissing asleep. This girl, she cannot get a break. She needs to like sleep in a locked room because every time she sleeps in the movie, something bad happens to her.
She either sleeps or passed out. It was a kind of wink wink situation. Let's take pictures for posterity or for whatever reason. But you're right. I agree that part was a little inappropriate, especially with both of those, the scientists and the military, just being old dudes.
Disgusting.
They were just perving out over Lilu. And then the kiss scene from Corbin Dallas, who, I don't know, he thought she was Sleeping Beauty or something like that. Well, although look back now, Sleeping Beauty. Oh, hello, a little creepy, right?
Yeah, that is creepy. Like, also, Snow White too, like kissing a dead corpse. I don't understand. It's a little weird.
It is a little weird. You're right.
Yeah, but like Lilu needs to sleep behind closed doors.
Yeah, she needs to lock herself in when she takes a nap. That's true. Anything else?
No, I think that was all I caught.
Okay. What was it that I noticed? Was her nudity. So they made a big deal about her not being shy about being naked. In the beginning, they show her naked. When it's PG-13 movies, I didn't think they really had that much nudity, but they show her, her top. And then later she changes in front of Cornelius. You see her naked again. And later she changes again in front of Corbin Dallas in his apartment when they came to steal his tickets. And that was a lot of that.
I think it was just mainly because she was just new to Earth, and that wasn't like, she didn't really see that as something strange. She thought clothes itself was like strange in that department, where like she gave him the clothes and she was like, oh, I wonder what this is.
Oh no, I'm saying for the filmmaker though, there were two reasons for that: to make a joke, but also to see this lady naked, this supermodel naked on screen.
That's true. That was a little odd. There was a little bit excess nudity than it needed. Maybe when she was being made, because like I doubt a human would be made with clothing, but she didn't have to like constantly be changing. Like she wore the same one outfit the entire movie. Why did she need to change so many times?
That's true. Well, that's true. You make a good point. Well, she had two outfits. The one that the thermal bandages, which were pretty much nudity except for covering some special parts, and then her outfit that she wears for the rest of the movie. But yeah, she takes off to put it on, and then she takes it off to dry because it gets wet. She takes it off to dry it and then puts it back on. But once again, I think it was just nudity for nudity's sake. All right, I have one more question.
Yep.
Does this pass the Bechdel test? Remember we were talking about that?
No. So,
as maybe some people know, the Bechdel test has a couple of criteria to be able to pass. So let's go ahead and go over these, and you tell me if it has it. At least 2 women are featured. Are there 2 women in this movie?
Yes. I think 3 if you count the diva singing lady.
Mm-hmm.
Lilu, obviously, but I don't really know if she's a female because she's like otherworldly. I don't know.
But for the purpose of the movie, she's female, right?
Yeah, and the screaming lady who got abused by the guy.
Which one?
That got abused by the announcer dude, Mr. Rhod.
Oh, the flight attendant.
Yeah.
And then there was a second.
She was talking.
Right, there was a secretary. But featured wise, there's only one, which is Lilu.
Yeah.
The diva Flava Laguna, she wasn't featured. She had a tiny little role. She just died. That's pretty much her. And then had stones that you had to carve out of her body. Ugh. Do these women talk to each other?
No. Lilu barely talks in English.
That's true. She doesn't actually. You're right. She actually doesn't speak very much at all. And she definitely didn't talk to anybody other than Cornelius or Corbin Dallas. Yeah. And then, last question is that they discuss something other than a man. They'd never even talked.
And when she was there, she was either always naked or always kissing Corbin Dallas.
Corbin Dallas, yeah. Anything else you want to put out there about this amazing movie that you gave it 2.5 stars out of 2.5 stars, I think, because it's so funny?
2.5 stars out of 5 stars.
I know, 2.5 out of 5.
I noticed something very minuscule is that McDonald's was like the only food place ever, like where they sponsored. Do you know?
I imagine, because the police officers in the chase scene are getting McDonald's.
And then in in the chase scene, I think again, like a car hits a McDonald's truck and a bunch of like food comes out.
Yeah, a bunch of burgers are going everywhere. Yeah, I don't think they did much eating.
It was definitely some sort of product placement.
I think so.
Whatever. I didn't know how old McDonald's is.
340,000. Who knows? It's been around all my life, so.
But
remember, this movie's not that long ago. It was only 25 years ago, so.
That's long for me.
Yeah, maybe. I was in college when this movie came out.
You're old.
Yeah, I am old. All right, anything else?
Nope.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to Papi Approved Movies.
If you liked this episode, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast app.
We usually put out an episode every week.
Next time, we are watching The Mask of Zorro. So I hope you join us.
I'm Papi.
And I'm Natalie.
See you next time.
Bye!